Welcome back to Factorio episode 7. Just finally had sleep end of last episode. Yep, so we're back up and running. And I'm willing to bet there's going to be some base fixing to go through. Like, power, obviously still being coal powered, was running all night and has chewed all the coal. Yeah. There's going to be a few things to fix this episode. But, yeah, like I said, episode 8, done our first overnight stretch. We survived, yes. We've hopefully made some blue pots overnight. I've finally got advanced oil done, so that's one of the things we have to do this episode. Try and get our cracking done. And burn through some blue sites, because hopefully we've got some stored up. I haven't even checked yet. I'm just going for it, and we'll find out when they run out. So again, this is still a mess, because I just want to burn off. I want to burn off the heavy oil. I want to burn off the light oil. I want everything converted to petrol. I just want to get it done. So we'll clean up everything after we get those storage tanks. What else? Big goal, I guess, for this episode is... well, actually, I don't have a goal in the episode. It's just trying to get as much done as possible and try and survive through it. But yeah, we started off at, what, 52%? 53% evolution? And believe it or not, this is, what, a 20-odd minute clip? Which is 2 hours worth of playtime. And for some reason 2 hours and 40 minutes worth of video time. So I'm guessing either I'm slowly lagging my computer, or I don't know. I spent 40 minutes maybe somehow with the research window open. Well, about 30 minutes. Which I guess possible, because I know I do a lot of fart-assing around trying to decide what to do next, depending on what limited sites we have. But of course, yes, none of the smelting's running because, yeah, we sort of chewed all our coal. On the bright side, we got plenty and plenty and plenty of timber or wood, so we can always bootstrap it with wood and burn wood for, I don't know, a long time to get rid of it all. But yeah, this is the first video that we're not using 12 times acceleration. This is slowed down to 3 times? Yeah, 3 times normal speed. And I think the max accelerate we do for this video is only 9 times regular speed, roughly. Because anybody who plays Factorio knows it's not a fast game. It's really, you're in it for the long haul, which is probably one of the reasons I enjoy it so much. But yeah, cracking's up and running, slowly. Trying to empty these tanks, which will take a while, because there is plenty of fluid in each one of them. And of course we're going to convert the heavy to the light, and then the light to the petrol, and we're not using petrol terribly efficiently at this point, so we don't have a high demand. But like I said, if we can get rid of some of the little stuff, or some of the lower level stuff, we will be alright. That was one of the big projects for this one, because we ran out of power overnight. Solar. Really want to get solar running. That seems pretty important. And yes, I'm still making full use of the sneaker net. I know it's horrible, and it will be gone, just not right now. Like, more of an eventual thing. Upgrade the cracking again, because the quicker I can get those tanks empty, the quicker we can actually properly configure the oil build to run more efficiently. And at the same time, yeah, just run more efficiently and look a little bit more neat, and speed module stuff. Because I'm going good with productivity modules, which is something I recommend to everybody. Put productivity in your oil, especially every single cracking. That's a really important one, because each time you take the heavy into light, you're going to get, depending on your modules, an extra couple of percent, all the way up to, what is it, 20%? I think it's 20% level 4. Which adds up. 20% extra light from heavy, and then 20% extra petroleum from light really adds up. But at the same time, it's also time to finally swap over to advanced oil processing. And I should have probably been better and probably drained those lines, but yeah, I couldn't be bothered. And we've got plenty in the tank, so it's no real big issue at this point. In fact, that's one of the things I have to do. I have to empty those oil tanks as well, because we just don't want them. We want to get rid of all the tanks and have the bare basics, being one tank for each product. That's it. And the only reason we want a tank is so we can hook it into the logistics network. Walls are holding up reasonably well at this stage, but we've had no pollution for quite a few hours because the factory basically turned off. All the belts backed up. We unfortunately mined out entirely our iron to steel, so we've got a couple of steel, but no more being produced. At the same time, our power turned off because it mined out all its coal. But yes, we finally get the first basics of shitty solar setups, but shitty is better than none. And we also put productivities in the oil refineries. The rule of thumb is anything over 0.4 gets a productivity, anything under 0.4 gets a speed. It does mean periodically checking them. But yeah, it's one of those ratios good to know. You win. You work out better off. Yes, better off with productivity in those ones producing more than 0.4 and speeds in those ones making less than 0.4. And this is a build that I came up with, which I am very, very fond of, because I hate tanks. Tanks are hard to move, and they take up a lot of space. A tank holds 2,500 barrels. This little setup with a fill and empty, which of course if you don't set it up correctly will automatically fill the barrels and then pass them into the other box and then empty the barrels. So it does require some circuit conditions, and that's why the video is slowed down for this part. Hopefully at 300 speed you can see what I'm doing. But yes, it's designed quite simply to, if we're over 500 oil I think? No, if we're over 1,000 oil in the tank, it puts them into storage. If we're under 500 oil, it takes them out of storage. So that just empties the tanks basically, and that's the very next thing I do. Pump a tank empty. Obviously not the one that's filled up to the, linked up with wire to the inserters, to the other one. But yeah, then it becomes my primary, my soul, my only tank for oil, or crude oil. The catch is you have to fill the first chest to the brim, and it has to be the exact amount of steel barrels. But yes, a standard tank holds, what is it, 2,500? And this has 25 oil per barrel, 480 barrels. So this one holds 12k and takes up the same room as 3 normal oil tanks. 3 normal oil tanks hold 7,500, this holds 12. And you can see our attempts at expansion went bad. Yeah, I died good. I died good, lost all the progress. Let's try again. You can guess that the biters aren't particularly happy when you chop down the trees. They seem to be very, very fond of them. But yeah, at the same time we need to get some accumulators running so we actually can store our power overnight. I know we've still got steam power, we can keep using that overnight, but the plan is to become independent from steam as fast as possible. And now we have the bare basics of a logistics network. I can start having some of the bots replace the sneaker net slowly, but some. That's probably why it's a longer playtime, because I died. I probably lost 30 minutes worth of progress between saves. Yeah, that seems to make sense now. Now I'm wondering if I died more than once. I have a feeling I died more than once. Looking how this defense is going, a good chance I probably died more than once. Maybe more than twice. But yeah, repair packs are finally set up, because we need repair packs as well. We need this base to start being semi-self-sufficient. So auto-repairing, auto-replacing, auto-manufacturing, because I'm still handcrafting gun turrets all the time. I don't know how many I've got at this stage, but every single one of them has been handcrafted, including the ones that I've lost over and over and over. Because, yeah, the biters are nasty. On the bright side, we've got a flamethrower. Catch is, the forest is dense, I'll put it that way. So if you light a fire in a dense forest, there is a good chance, a very, very good chance, that you'll start a forest fire that'll go and continue for quite some time. Yeah. Avoid flamethrowers. Bonus, we found an extra oil slot. Oh, an oil... I don't know what they're called. Oil slick? Oil tile? Oil tile. We'll go with an oil tile. But yes, this is sped right the way up because nobody needs to see me die over and over. Especially while still trying to keep off, you know... We're at what? 54, 55% evolution? So we haven't even got to the really nasty behemoths, etc. But already... we're having problems keeping the biters at bay. A lot of problems. Yeah, here they are in the base again. Yeah. We're not doing that. Oh, today's music clip is again from Magic NCS, and what's the name of the track? Remixes of popular songs, electro, house, and trap. Yes, but as always, link will be in the description. To this particular track that's been used for today's background music. We are slowly cranking up an auto-deplacing of turrets, which will be handy, very handy. And as you can see, they're a bit closer than you'd normally expect. In fact, a lot closer than you'd normally expect. But this is the way it has to be to keep the biters at bay. And we're going to reset up the oil again because I died and we lost the progress. And I forgot to reset this stuff up. But yeah, exact same as last time. If we've got over 500 oil, it gets pumped into a barrel, for lack of a better terminology. And if we've got less than 1,000 oil, it comes out of a barrel. At the same time, we finally need to start getting rid of little goop. And solar automation, because, you know, right there, why not? Where else are you going to build it? Everything comes from Logibot, so you can build it literally anywhere. So we'll dump down one back there for copying and pasting later. We realise we need yet more coal, eventually. You need to be rate limited, so we'll end up with just heaps and heaps and heaps of construction bots. And in fact, hopefully we're hoping that we'll run out, or we'll max out on construction robots, at which point the Logibots will start getting some frames. So we can get more and more Logibots to build up our system and go more bot-based, less belt-based. Because belt-based is bad. We can finally rip up steel smelting, because we're done with it basically. And we're upgrading iron copper smelting, faster belts, more, faster, faster, more. It's Factorio, you could never have too much. Well, no, I have seen some people buffer like, you know, 1 million iron ore, which they're mining it out faster than they can process it. And their answer is build more storage, whereas my answer would be, no, let's process what we have faster. Therefore use it faster, unless our belts are backed up. If everything's backed up, my answer is, why do you bother? You need to use it faster. But yes, as I said from the last playthrough, you can see all the desert biomes, no, not really biomes, patches. Desert patches here, there and everywhere. They're biter kills, and there's been a lot of biter kills. Oh, and then we finally play with solar and steam engines by increasing the A value, I think we did. Right, it's very hard to tell on my little preview screen. We increased the value, I think, or we added a negative to it. So it would have decreased it to actually force steam on. And try to find that sensitive balance between electric's doing all of it. Not electric. We're using it as fast as we're making it. But this is another one of my builds. This is a plain, well, it's a plain steel chest with all the components to make the 4 logistics chests. Not super neat, it is definitely my first iteration, but it works, and that's the bottom line. The bottom line is definitely something that works. I'm going to limit all these on the Logi network, that way even if they get pulled up out of these chests and dumped into storage or anywhere else, as long as they're still on the Logi network, which they'd have to be for the bots to pick them up and put them somewhere, we can still access, you know, their contents, and we can cap it to say 50 of an item. And that's not 50 in the chest, that's 50 in the item in the whole network. So sometimes it'll be 50, sometimes it'll be 150, which is, you just never know. We do know that night seems to be getting darker. Is that possible? But we're nearing the point where we're somewhat close to being positive with power. Close, not perfect, but close. And we add roboports all the way around because I didn't get to finish it last time. And now we need it not only for our repairing, but also for fixing up our little I don't know, storage? So, solar's finally going, steam power's almost done with. It is rate capped, so if you're producing too much, it will actually turn off steam power by not passing water into the system, and that depends on accumulator load or accumulator charge. But yeah, that's pretty much to the end of the episode. We got some accomplished, not as much as I wanted, but like I said, this is a 2-hour video, whereas some of the others have been 4, 5, 6, even an 8-hour one. I think I brought down to like the half-hour mark. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed. I'd love it if you'd like this video and subscribe to the channel so you can watch the very next Factorio or Oxygen Not Included or whatever game I happen to get up to next. As always, down in the comment section, tell me what you think. Leave me a thought or a question or even a random insult. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye.